You know, for a while now it has become evident that Netflix has a problem with its shows. First seasons, epic lightning in a bottle. Second seasons, usually a bottle half filled with a mysterious yellow liquid found under the bleachers after a high school football game. The phenomenon is well documented, occurs as potent as any Addams Family hex. And now Wednesday has returned. The gothic poster child for streaming success is back stalking Nevermore's hallways. But the real mystery isn't in the show. It's whether Season 2 dodges Netflix's Season 2 curse. Wednesday Addams is back. The beloved murder doll of Netflix. This time dragging her younger brother Pugsley into the abyss of teen angst, psychic visions, and questionable cafeteria food. The season doesn't just try to replicate Season 1's formula. More Addams Family dynamics, bigger roles for Morticia and Gomez, and a central mystery delivered in half the time. Netflix is experimenting with format here. 2 arcs, split into 2 4-episode drops. The first half builds up to a cliffhanger, and the second half will supposedly detonate it, which means we get the blood and feathers now, and the aftermath later. Bold choice, but also dangerous, because it forces the show to prove it's more than quirky macabre aesthetics taped onto a Scooby-Doo mystery engine. So what do we have? Pugsley's getting upgraded from a comic relief chew toy to an actual character. Enid worrying about her werewolf pack versus her undeadpan best friend. Morticia's finally stepping into the Machiavellian matriarchal role we always wanted. And Wednesday herself, sharpening her psychic powers and a venomous bite. But the real riddle is whether it all works. Let's start with the dead elephant in the crypt. Netflix has a track record. Smash the first season. Botch the follow-up. Stranger Things only dodged it because 80s nostalgia is harder to kill than Freddy Krueger. The first season of Wednesday possessed the potent advantage of novelty. The fresh, Tim Burton-infused gothic visuals. The masterful dead-eyed snark of Jenna Ortega weaponized into a cultural force. The simple joy of seeing a beloved character recontextualized for a new generation. A second season enjoys no such luxury. It cannot hide behind the sheer surprise of its own existence. It must justify it with depth, progression, and a narrative worthy of the investment. It must prove it is more than a mood board and a memorable performance. The good news then is that it mostly does. Not flawlessly, not perfectly, but enough to remind us why we fell in love with this morbid little outcast in the first place. This is the season where the Addams Family finally gets their due. In the first season, we saw Wednesday was fleshed out from the quirky side character she was in all previous incarnations into a fully realized protagonist. In this season, the same happens with Pugsley. He isn't a background gag anymore. He's a full-on agent of chaos in training. A budding connoisseur of the bizarre. That brings the kind of Addams Family weirdness we always knew was in his DNA. And instead of being the butt of Wednesday's jokes, he actually develops. He has agency. He digs into school legends, literally makes a new friend, and carves out a niche of his own. Suddenly, he's more than the kid with a hangman's rope in his backpack. He's a proper Addams, worthy of holding his head, or someone else's, high. Catherine Zeta-Jones returns as a perfectly casted Morticia in full bloom. Elegant, sharp, and unyielding. She gets dragged into the petty politics of Nevermore through the seemingly mundane vehicle of the school fundraiser committee. Steve Buscemi, the school's new brilliantly slimy and opportunistic principal, plays her like a fiddle. He knows her mother is a cemetery tycoon, rolling in money, and he'll stop at nothing to squeeze donations out of her. Morticia isn't just a cameo mom snipping the heads off roses and delivering one-liners. We get a much more realistic and serious gothic aristocrat steering her family with poise and quiet menace. A matriarch using slight manipulations and nudges of sarcasm that keeps the family together and in line. Putting her foot down when Wednesday steps out of line will grab your attention faster than a public execution. Very nice. Much wow. The pure gothic family drama when she squares off against her equally devious mother, shows how the Addams family has evolved from a once silly Halloween-themed sitcom to a realistic look at how a three-generation family of goths could be anything other than just fantasy. And of course, wherever Morticia goes, Gomez is sure to follow. Gomez, still the weakest link in an otherwise strong chain. Louise Guzman leans too hard into goofy, not enough into suave. Yes, Gomez was always a bit of a cock, hopelessly infatuated with his goddess of a wife that was the epitome of perfection in his eyes. But he was also magnetic, dangerous, and equal to Morticia's beauty and menace. But in this show, he feels like a man punching way above his weight. It's serviceable, but for those who grew up on the electric, dangerous charm of Raul Julia's portrayal, this version continues to sting, a dilution of a classic character. But at the center of it all is Wednesday. Her character growth this season comes through her visions. She's learning to wield them, not just suffer them. And with that comes heavier responsibility. Protecting her friends, especially Enid. Their relationship, the true heart of the show, takes a darker turn. Wednesday's attempts to protect Enid comes across as cold rejection, while Enid struggles with her own werewolf pack loyalties. It's teen drama, but steeped with supernatural dread. But let's not hype it up too much. Beneath the gothic and macabre veneer, it is still a coming-of-age comedy soap opera aimed at teens. The rest of Nevermore's ensemble does what it's supposed to. Teen romance that both bloom and wither, cliques, rivalries, and the melodrama of a CW soap, but filtered through Tim Burton's skull-shaped lens. If you love the tone of season 1, you'll be comfortable here. Here's the boldest change, the show's structure. Instead of dragging a single mystery across 8 episodes, season 2 splits the arc. The first 4 episodes sees the murder mystery uncovered, solved, and concluded, and ends on a finale with a banger of a cliffhanger that you do not see coming. Which brings us to the plot. Season 1 was a grisly whodunit murder mystery, with Wednesday discovering the murderer was in fact her love interest, who was a Hyde, as in Jekyll and Hyde, that was being controlled by a teacher, Miss Thornhill. This time, the deaths are caused by something genuinely creepy. Swarms of birds weaponized by an avian outcast. The deaths are grisly, creative, and very in line with the show's aesthetic. But more importantly, it wraps by episode 4. Which means the real question is not who's the killer, but what the hell comes next. And that's where the show earns points. Because instead of recycling the monster reveal format of season 1, it gambles. It provides a sense of closure before ripping the floor out from under the audience entirely. Risky, but it pays off, leaving you fully intrigued in anticipation for part 2. Performance-wise, Ortega is still magnetic. Every line reading feels like she's etching it into your gravestone. Her Wednesday has matured, less reactive, more calculating. But she hasn't lost that dry venom that turned her into this decade's favorite goth. Emma Meyers as Enid remains the pastel-colored counterpoint to Wednesday's monochrome severity. Still charming, still the emotional way that keeps Wednesday tethered. Zeta-Jones Morticia finally gets space to dominate. Guzman, well, let's just say he's lucky Morticia is in the same frame. And the real scene stealer? Steve Buscemi as the new principal. He nails it. Equal parts, try hard, down with what's hip, principle, and hidden menace. It's casting so good it feels like it was decided by fate. Aesthetically, the show stays loyal to its roots. Nevermore still feels like a gothic fever dream. The black lace production design, the candlelit hallways, the graveyard chic wardrobe, it's all still there. But tonally, it leans harder into coming-of-age drama, more romance, more friendship angst, and more high school politics. Some viewers will hate it, others will argue it makes Wednesday feel more human. The truth is somewhere in between. It sands down some edges, but deepens others. So do the first 4 episodes prove Wednesday can beat Netflix's dreaded Season 2 curse? Honestly, yes, so far. Not flawlessly, But yes, it keeps the macabre charm, expands the family, sharpens the relationships, and takes a real structural gamble with the mystery. Is it darker? Not really. Smarter? A little. More addictive? Absolutely. Because that cliffhanger isn't just bait, it's a hook straight through the ribcage. Wednesday Season 2 may not be groundbreaking, but it proves that the show isn't a fluke. It has legs, fangs, and enough weirdness to keep the Addams Family torch burning. Whether the second half sticks the landing is another mystery. But for now, consider me thoroughly and delightfully intrigued. But what do you think? Is Wednesday Season 2 a worthy resurrection of everyone's favorite deadpan doll? Or is Netflix already lowering her into the cursed Season 2 grave? Let me know in the comments. Fans, haters, goths, and all manner of outcasts are all welcome. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button like you're trying to revive it. Subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss my next seance. And hey, if you want to toss a coin into the family crypt, you can tip me on buymeacoffee.com, coffee.com, or PayPal me. Links in the description. This channel operates without the benefit of a secret cult funding or supernatural patronage. If you are so inclined and able to offer support, amazing. If not, sharing helps just as much. Thanks for watching. Until next time, don't trust the birds.